Hello, I want to show you the little program I've made. You can use it for making tokens, portraits, and other assets for tabletop role-playing games. Keep in mind that it's just a small program I hacked together in less than 2 months. It lacks polish and features, but I plan on developing it further to add new features and improve upon existing ones. As you can see, it opens rather instantly. That is one of the things I focus on when developing the program, as I believe it should allow you to create things quickly and easily. You can use images from your local drive and the internet. Let's start by opening up an image. Let's use this one. When you have the image loaded, you can use your cursor to manipulate it, how it looks within the frame. You can left click and drag to change its position, and you can use scroll wheel to zoom in and out. The program uses modifiers that you can place upon the image to change how it looks. In this case, we have a frame modifier applied automatically, which applies the frame around the image. You can use one of the included frames and select it as like so. Let's say we want to use a hex for our token, this one, and the frame is applied. You can change color of the frame. Let's say we will make it green, and it will be recolored. However, as you see, the image is quite zoomed in within the frame, having those borders visible. We don't want that. However, if we zoom in to make them invisible, the face of the character is a bit too large. We can fix that with another modifier that is available in the program, and it is called background. In this case, the background of the image is white, so the white background works quite well in providing us with fill in for the image. However, we can use another modifier together with background to replace it completely. Instead of background, we can use the modifier I called green screen. This will allow you to choose which color to mask out of the image. In this case, it will be white. And as you can see, all pixels that are similar enough will be turned transparent, and you can control this with those slider, allowing you to adjust the threshold of how similar the color should be to be masked, and how much to soften the edge. Now we can apply a background to this image, and we can use another image as the background. And similarly to normal token images, we can also load from local drive or paste an URL to use as the background. Let's paste an URL. I have URL copied into my clipboard, and now I can press this button and the program will load that URL and apply it to the image. Now we have to adjust the order of the modifiers so they are displayed correctly. And the background is applied. We can change the position of the background as we like. However, as you will notice, the green screen is masking out the pixels a little bit too aggressively, creating holes where the pixels are somewhat similar to the background color we selected. However, when we turn this threshold lower, some of the other parts are showing up. We can use another modifier that I provided instead of green screen. And it is a flood mask, which will let you select position on the image, and it will spread a mask to similar colors. It works somewhat similarly to green screen, however, it allows you to mask out only a specific part of the image. You can, of course, add multiple modifiers to the image to mask out relevant parts. Now you can mask the image without creating holes in it. Like so. And we have completed one token. Let's make another one to show you a couple more features I have in this program. One thing you can use to quickly replace the images you have loaded is to use this button, which will replace images in all open workspaces. You can use both images from your drive and from the internet, like with loading normal image. Let's paste what I have in clipboard. And now we have a new image. Those modifiers now are no longer needed. And let's change our frame back to be a circle, and maybe just a white circle. You can use this color picker to directly input the color of the frame. Let's make a token for this character. One of the things I designed this program for is making multiple assets at the same time, which will allow you to create, for example, both token for this character as well as portrait for use in your virtual tabletop. You can add new workspaces with this button, and those templates allow you to quickly select what kind of workspace do you want, which will set it up for you. And since we already have an image loaded into one of the workspaces, we can reuse it. And like so, we have a portrait for the character ready to go. Let's say we want to also make a token for the wolf companion of this character. We can do so by adding another workspace of token type. When positioning the image within your frame, you can also press Shift and it will allow you more gradual control over how fast your token moves with your mouse. So when you want to precisely control where your image is placed or how close it is zoomed in, you can click Shift and then adjust accordingly. Let's leave it like this. One challenge you may face when using the program would be if you prefer to work on a smaller window or when you don't have as much space on your screen. In that case, you can change how those are displayed, either next to each other or within tabs. Then only one workspace will be visible at a time, allowing you to switch which one should be displayed. Let's return to full screen. Another thing you can do with the program would be to change the size of the preview of those tokens. When you press Alt key and use your scroll wheel, the size of the preview will change, allowing you to zoom in if you work on a smaller token. This is useful when you're making, let's say, tokens that would be size of let's say 200 pixels by 200. The preview is quite small and may not be as visible as you would want. Then you can zoom right in without changing the size of the image that will be exported. And when you will want to export the image, you will obviously want to control how the images will be named. Each workspace has a field that lets you input what the name will be for that image. The program also supports placeholder names, such as this one. The project name placeholder will be replaced by whatever you have in the project name field. This will allow you to name all of those images with one name and just append or prepend specific parts of the name to each workspace. You can change how the default name is created for each type of workspace in the settings. Here you can change how the different workspace types get their names. Keep in mind that the program will not allow you to put special characters or any character that might be problematic in the file name. This is to prevent you from accidentally creating issues with some virtual tabletop programs that might not like those. You can use regular letters, numbers, underscores and dashes. When you have a situation like this, where you have two tokens, the program will realize that you have two workspaces that would save the image under the same name and prevents you from doing so. In this case, we can rename this workspace to a different name, and the program will allow us to export the image now. Now that we have the name for this character, we can also choose what format this each workspace will save. The program currently supports PNG, JPEG and WebP formats, and you can use any for each workspace. I will leave it as PNG for now. When you're ready to export, you can set where the images will be exported, and I currently have it in my portraits folder. This will be good enough, and can click export to save those images. And the images are saved. You will notice that the export button turns red. This notifies you that one of those or more workspaces have the same name as existing file on the export path. In this case, since we just saved those images, that is to be expected. However, if you would work on another image, this would warn you that the program would override a file. One thing you might find useful when making tokens is using custom frames, since what is included in the program is limited at this time. However, the program has easy frame maker part, which allows you to create your own frames quite easily. All you need is to load a frame image into the program and click within the frame to let the program know which part of the frame is meant to hold the portrait of the character. The preview will turn into a checkerboard pattern, and as we can see, the preview correctly shows us where the frame is meant to hold the character, and we can save now this frame. The name you put for the frame will be also used to save the file in your data folder, and the category will be also used for the folder in which that frame will be used. Let's say this will be category of fancy frames. Now all you have to do is click export, and the frame will be ready to be used. And now we have the frame within the editor. Let's see how those images we exported look like in a virtual tabletop. I use Foundry for my games, and since we saved it into the portraits folder, we have it right here, ready to be used. And we can change the portrait for the token. And for the wolf, we also use the portrait, and token will use the wolf token. And when we drag the image, seems I didn't save this one correctly. The token should be like this. And now it works correctly. Both are working as intended. The program is free and open source, and you can find it on my GitHub page, which you will find in the description. The program is available for both Windows and Linux. If you like what you see, you could contribute to the project either by sponsoring it or by contributing art or code. You can also report any issues or bugs you find, or suggest any features that you might find useful.